It may surprise or even shock you to hear what I'm about to say, but if you're seeing this video right now, it's no accident. There's a thunder in your bones, a pounding that won't let you stay small, and that very fatigue weighing on your shoulders is the final echo of old illusions crumbling. Enough hiding behind excuses, enough wondering if this surge of emptiness is your defeat. No, it's the clarion that your spirit is burning through every last barrier, standing between you and the unshakable truth of who you really are. Stand firm, chosen one, and feel the unstoppable transformation locking into place. If you're ready to spark your entire reality into a higher state of being, like this video, subscribe and comment 77 below to declare your readiness for the colossal shift about to roar through your life. Chapter 1. The Weary Heart at the Threshold. You've been trudging forward, feeling every step like a weight strapped to your ankles, your heart aching for clarity, your mind swirling with questions that just won't hush. At times, you've asked yourself if this fatigue means you lack the strength to keep going, or if you took a wrong turn, straying from the path you believed was yours. But what if that exhaustion isn't your downfall, but the sign of an epic shift lying just beyond your horizon? What if your spirit's been battling illusions day and night, forging a new gateway through which you're meant to emerge? All the watchers, the naysayers, the doubters, and the illusions, racked in concern, would have you believe this weariness is failure. But in truth, it's the labor pains of your spirit, the final push before you break into the unstoppable synergy that's always been your inheritance. Imagine a chrysalis. From the outside, it seems lifeless, but within, a revolution is happening. You're in that stage, dear chosen one. The watchers can't interpret your stillness, your subdued energy. They call it laziness or assume you've lost your nerve. But inside, your soul is rewriting its entire blueprint, preparing for a leap they cannot comprehend. In these draining weeks or months, illusions scramble to tie you down, igniting old fears or spurring new crises. They want to see you collapse just before your transformation finalizes, hoping you'll never discover the unstoppable synergy growing in your mirror. But illusions underestimate the raw tenacity that's awakened in you. Even when your limbs feel lean, your soul flickers with unquenchable resolve, refusing to bow. Each wave of heaviness has only sharpened your spirit, forging a deeper well of quiet power. This is the threshold moment. You sense it in your gut, the hush before the storm, the tension that precedes a massive break. No matter what illusions told you, no matter how battered you felt, the synergy forging in your depths says otherwise. You're not burning out. You're burning through the final remnants of a life that's too small for what you carry. The watchers can stare in confusion. Illusions can snarl, but they can't hush the unstoppable pulse that declares the time for half measures is over. Keep your heart steady. Let the exhaustion wash over you, not as a sign to quit, but as the clarion of coming rebirth. In that hush, you'll find your spirit is closer than ever to the unstoppable wave of awakening that has been chasing you all your life. Lean in, dear chosen one. Lean into this final draw of weariness, for it's the herald that your entire being is preparing to shift. One moment more, one breath more, and you'll feel the illusions give way, revealing your unstoppable synergy, blazing with the raw power of a new dawn. Chapter 2. Illusions waging their final battle. Like a cornered beast sensing its demise, the illusions around you have grown more relentless. Fear once cast a gentle shadow, but now it thrashes with savage desperation, spinning worst-case scenarios to sap your final ounce of faith. Relationships strain under needless tension, finances feel precarious, or you're haunted by the echoes of old traumas. Why now, you might wonder, when you're already worn down? Because illusions are mounting their final stand. They can smell your awakening is almost complete, and they want to drag you backward before your synergy roars fully alive. One minute, you're pushing forward with your last scraps of energy. The next, illusions swarm your thoughts with doubt. You've given so much, yet you see no results. Is it time to abandon this dream? The watchers linger nearby, offering rational reasons why you should lower your ambitions. But you see their game. They claim they're being realistic, In truth, they're terrified of what you'll become once illusions can't tether you. So they hurl every negativity they can muster, hoping it'll latch onto your psyche and anchor you in half-lit existence. Exhaustion might make you susceptible to these illusions, tempting you to believe your struggle leads nowhere. But remember, illusions can only corrupt the mind if you let them nest there. This final push is crucial because illusions suspect if they fail now, you'll slip out of their reach forever, and you will. The synergy swirling in your heart is not random. It's the unstoppable tide that once embraced smashes illusions to fragments. They fear that synergy because it's unstoppable, precisely when you are at your raw state. Look back at your journey. Each trial that battered you became the grit forging unstoppable resilience. Each heartbreak hammered you into unbreakable steel. Where illusions see brokenness, synergy sees a beautifully honed blade. And illusions quake at the edge of that blade, for they know their downfall is imminent. So they call for your attention. Still, cold insecurities dredge up every shred of evidence that your dream is too large, your body too weary, your mind too unsettled. Yet ironically, the severity of their assault only proves how close you are to a breakthrough. Lies intensify when truth is about to dawn. Stand your ground. Let illusions fling their last arrows, for each folly only speeds their demise. You've learned to spot false narratives, to sense how synergy's voice resonates with quiet, confident clarity, while illusions sputter chaos and panic. Embrace the truth in your depths, the knowledge that you're not about to fade away, but to unleash a transformation so mighty it will alter your entire perspective on possibility. The watchers sense it too, though they won't admit it. They can look away from the unstoppable synergy seeping through your cracks. So endure their final assault with unwavering resolve. This is the last rattle of a dying kingdom that once enslaved your horizons. Each second you stand, illusions fray further, like rotted ropes snapping under unstoppable tension. And as they tear, your exhaustion begins to morph into a molten wellspring of unstoppable power. Fuel for the synergy that will surge, claiming every inch of your destiny in a blaze of unstoppable awakening. Chapter 3. Recognizing the flame beneath your weariness. Beneath that fatigue pressing on your shoulders, an ember of fierce light flickers. Maybe faint, but unquestionably alive. You can deny it on your most defeated days, but it's there, refusing to be smothered by illusions or watchers. This flame is your true essence, the intangible synergy linking you to divine purpose. And in these final moments before full awakening, it grows more insistent. You feel it in the hush before sleep, in the hush when illusions pause, their assault for just a heartbeat, in the hush when your mind drifts into daydreams about a future that glimmers with possibility. You might call it your soul's voice or your deeper self. However you name it, it holds the blueprint of your unstoppable destiny. It rejects half-truths and illusions that say you're broken or doomed. Instead, it reminds you of every triumph, every act of love and courage you've poured into your quest, every spark of brilliance that flew from your fingertips at unexpected times. This flame is the reason illusions, watchers, and negative energies have battered you so relentlessly. They sense that, should your flame fully blaze, their capacity to hold you down withers. At times, you might have misread your exhaustion as a sign that the flame was guttering, but in truth, the flame has been at work behind the scenes, consuming illusions from the inside out. Its labor is draining, but necessary, a hidden forging that shapes you for unstoppable synergy. Each wave of tiredness signaled another layer of false beliefs incinerated, leaving behind a primal hush in which the real you can emerge. Some watchers might interpret your subdued manner as defeat, but they mistake the forging for surrender. They fail to realize the unstoppable synergy that's crystallizing in your bones, preparing for an eruption they can't contain. If you listen closely, the flame whispers that you are enough, that you've always been enough, that your path is not a random scramble, but a deliberate forging of unstoppable synergy. The illusions that claim otherwise begin to look silly under this subtle internal light. They might have once roared with intimidation, but the flame reveals them as flimsy, ephemeral attempts to hide the unstoppable truth. And the watchers see that truth creeping into your eyes. even if they can't name it. Fear drives them to intensify distractions, to coax your focus away from the quiet power building at your center. Yet your gaze no longer drifts. The synergy has taught you to remain rooted, and each time illusions try to lead you astray, your flame flares, reaffirming the path you, the one bridging the intangible realm of faith and the tangible plane of action, walk. That bridge is the synergy, unstoppable once realized, unstoppable once you decide to trust the flame over the illusions. Let exhaustion be your clue, your barometer that you're discarding mountains of illusions that no longer serve. The watchers want you to interpret that weariness as a sign of collapse, but synergy insists it's the final metamorphosis before flight. So hold space for the flame. Recognize it in the hush of your sorrow, the quiet of your rest, or the surge of creativity that sparks in your darkest hour. Each moment you hold on to that ember is another moment illusions failed to quench. Unstoppable synergy. Soon the flame will blaze in full glory, and weariness will yield to a power so fierce it frightens the watchers into retreat. Let them scatter. You know the truth, and the unstoppable synergy fueling your awakening will not be tamed. Chapter 4. The Subtle Signs of Imminent Breakthrough. Though illusions favor drama and watchers reek of intimidation, your imminent breakthrough often announces itself in subtle, almost unremarkable signs. You sense a thinning of the air around your burden, a small pocket of calm in the chaos. You catch fleeting glimpses of alignment, a random conversation that sparks a new idea, or a coincidence that solves a nagging problem. You might dismiss them as lucky flukes at first, but your synergy sees the invisible thread stitching these flukes into a tapestry of unstoppable progress. It's not always something external either. Maybe your mind feels clearer at unexpected moments, or your body finds bursts of energy despite persistent fatigue. Maybe your intuition sharpens swiftly, guiding you away from illusions and watchers' negativity. These glints of positivity contrast with the overshadowing weariness, confusing the watchers, who can't fathom how you manage to find pockets of clarity in a swirl of exhaustion. They prefer you remain overwhelmed and oblivious to synergy's stealth approach. But synergy thrives in the quiet spaces illusions overlooked. It seeds opportunities behind the scenes, waiting for you to align just enough to notice them. Then, like dawn seeping through the darkest night, it illuminates your path, one gentle ray at a time. Each sign might feel small on its own, a random tick about a course, a stranger's kind remark. But together they form a luminous chain leading straight to your unstoppable awakening. The watchers grit their teeth, seeing how illusions failed to block such subtle, near-miraculous channels. One day you find yourself responding to adversity with an unshakable calm. Another day, you spontaneously take a chance on something that used to terrify you. Such shifts are synergy whispering that your transformation is no longer a theory or a far-off dream. It's happening in real time, weeding your next-level reality, even while illusions attempt their last stand. The watchers look for flashy meltdowns or surrender. They fail to see that your synergy is the quiet, unstoppable wave remaking your inner fortress, so illusions can't trigger the meltdown they crave. You begin to realize that your power is not hinged on external validation or massive leaps, but in these daily micro-alignments with synergy. Like a long-lost friend returning home, synergy seeps into every corner of your life, dissolving illusions without a dramatic scuffle. This confounds watchers who prefer open battles. You offer them none. Instead, you keep pressing forward, collecting these subtle signs like precious stones that guarantee your unstoppable victory is near. And so, you inch closer, guided by clues only you can interpret, receiving nods of cosmic affirmation that illusions can't disprove. Each day, your synergy grows in quiet confidence, forging the path to your final awakening. The watchers might attempt a grand spectacle or a jarring crisis, hoping to blot out these subtle signs with chaos. But synergy is relentless, unstoppable, and has already anchored in your heart. By the time illusions realize how thoroughly your momentum has formed, it's too late for them to mount any lasting damage. Your unstoppable synergy has you placed on the verge of a transformation that will leave illusions scattered and watchers speechless. Chapter 5. The tipping point of sheer willpower. The illusions were cutting, the watchers persistent, and the exhaustion real. Yet here you stand, trembling at the tipping point where your sheer willpower meets synergy's unstoppable thrust. On one side lies the battered realm of half-lived dreams. On the other, the horizon of explosive potential, teased by cosmic whispers that you are more than even you believed. The watchers crane their necks, waiting to see if you'll relent. But the synergy coursing within you says otherwise. It refuses to let illusions remain unchallenged. Every fiber of your will intensifies, forging a clarity that was once elusive. Your exhaustion morphs into a new form, not a depletion of your energy, but a refusal to invest in illusions anymore. It's the exhaustion of playing by rules that never served you, of squishing your essence into a mold that illusions demanded. Freed from that, your willpower becomes your shining sword, cutting through illusions that once seemed insurmountable. You sense how close you are to bursting into a realm of unstoppable manifestation, but synergy also demands commitment. It's not enough to glimpse the new horizon. You must choose it with every breath, rejecting the watcher's illusions at each turn. This is no time for caution, no moment for half-committed attempts. With illusions crumbling and synergy rising, you either fling yourself forward or remain stuck behind old limitations. The watchers are banking on your fear, hoping you lack the will to break from unstoppable manifestation. In a single moment of boldness, you press on, leaving illusions to fade in your dust. This is not a fleeting surge of adrenaline. It's the culminating crescendo of every test you endured, every tear that shaped your resilience, every cosmic sign that refused to let you believe you were powerless. Now you claim the authority that illusions tried to bury. The watchers can only fumble, stripped of their illusions, as the unstoppable synergy fosters your final leap, carrying you across the threshold into an awakening so profound it redefines your identity. Chapter 6. Rising into your new frequency. Then the shift occurs. The illusions fail to cling, the watchers fall silent, and you sense yourself rising into a brand new frequency. It's not a sudden fanfare or swirling lights, but a deep internal shift that reconfigures how you see, how you speak, how you stand. Your exhaustion, once a heavy drag on your footsteps, morphs into quiet power, like the echo of a storm that's passed, leaving behind cleansed skies. You're no longer fighting illusions tooth and nail. You're existing beyond their reach, as if they can't scale the walls of your newfound consciousness. In this new frequency, synergy radiates through every cell. Old triggers provoke no more than a dismissive shrug. Doubts that once tore you open find no foothold. You realize illusions thrived on your partial belief in them. Now that you fully believe in synergy instead, illusions appear childishly weak. The watchers study you from a distance, uncertain how to manipulate a being who sees the strings behind their puppet show. The unstoppable synergy hums in your chest, fueling your confidence that you truly are on the brink of an incredible unveiling. Your relationships shift. Some are drawn closer by the magnetism of your unstoppable synergy. Others, anchored in illusions, drift away, unable to resonate with your new vibrational domain. That might sting, but you understand the necessity. Your path demands authenticity at every turn, leaving no space for illusions in the guise of companionship. Besides, a synergy swiftly draws new alliances, kindred spirits eager to co-create a life unshackled from illusions. You find yourself forging bonds that mirror your awakened frequency, forging unstoppable alliances that the watchers can't sabotage. Meanwhile, external circumstances begin rearranging themselves to reflect your new inner state. Doors that once slammed in your face now open with minimal effort, as though the cosmos recognizes your synergy and yearns to cooperate. Projects bloom with ease, resources materialize unexpectedly, and your presence alone seems to dissolve tensions in your environment. This is the power of fully aligned synergy. It's not just about personal gains, but about uplifting every sphere you touch. The watchers, baffled, can only watch as illusions collapse in waves, replaced by unstoppable forward momentum in your orbit. Perhaps the most striking change is the hush of certainty you carry. You don't need to broadcast transformation loudly or defend it from critics. It emanates from your eyes, your speech, your posture, an unspoken authority that illusions can't replicate. When watchers test your boundary, synergy responds with unwavering calm, shutting down attempts at intrusion. It's a radical departure from the old days, where you might over-explain or compromise. In this new frequency, you no longer dance with illusions at all. Every sunrise now feels like an invitation to expand further. No illusions hamper your momentum. No watcher's verdict can quell your soul's call. You see your future unspool with uncanny clarity, a path guided by unstoppable synergy, each step more radiant than the last. The watchers scuttle, illusions fraying at the edges while you stride, unburdened, forging your destiny with a power that once only thrummed in your wildest dreams. And yet synergy whispers that this is only the start, a new dawn from which you will scale even loftier heights, unstoppable in your evolution. Chapter 7. The Threshold of Completion and Beginnings. And now, dear chosen one, you stand poised at the threshold where your exhaustion, illusions, watchers, and every trial have led you. This is the point your awakening has yearned for, a confluence of unstoppable synergy ready to unlock a new dimension of your life. Every aspect of your journey, from the darkest nights to the fleeting bursts of encouragement, has funneled you to this brink. God's quiet voice resonates to your core. Your awakening is almost complete. The illusions that weigh you down see it too, and scatter in the face of your luminous approach. You exhale, feeling the hush between heartbeats, the hush that precedes a cosmic shift. A part of you might ask, what does completion look like? Is it an end? But synergy whispers that awakening's completion is but a beginning. You haven't reached a final plateau of existence. Rather, you've shattered illusions to reveal who you really are. What unfolds from here is a story the watchers cannot script. You'll discover powers of manifestation and purpose that once felt mythical, now as natural as your breath. The watchers from a distance murmur their last incantations. Some nurse grudges, longing to recast illusions around you, but synergy stands guard, unwavering. Others watch in silent fascination, seeing a phenomenon they can't rationalize. But you no longer exist to be measured by them. You stand crowned by the synergy you nurtured, the unstoppable synergy God placed within you. And unstoppable synergy illusions fear to face. Exhaustion melts into unstoppable vigor. Illusions crumble into dust. Watchers fade to the edges. You are free, yet synergy calls you not to complacency, but to a new frontier. There's an entire cosmos you're poised to transform, from small acts of grace to grand leaps of innovation. People who cross your path sense your awakened frequency, their illusions trembling, hearts stirring with unexpected hope. You become a living testament that no matter how dire the illusions or how fierce the watchers, unstoppable synergy can and will prevail. The watchers can't block the momentum of a chosen one who has soared past exhaustion into the clarity of a completed awakening. The hush thickens around you, a sense that the air itself might tear open with possibility at any moment. Your next step remains your own to choose, shaped by synergy rather than illusions. And you do choose. You choose to advance, to carry the banner of this unstoppable synergy onward, forging a narrative no illusion can rewrite. This is your testament, that every weary day led to this crowning triumph, that you stand unbound, unstoppable, ready to shape reality with a steady heart and a fearless soul.